Hi everyone, welcome to Lift Your Spirits August 2021. Now tonight, unfortunately, I couldn't be with you live. So Amanda and Bethany are there in the comments. You can chat with them, ask some questions, anything you need to know. I'm actually in New York. I've been asked to be a mentor and judge for emerging brands at the National Stationery Show, which is super exciting because we make handmade stationery. So it's great to be involved in another side of the industry, see what's going on, what the trends are. I do apologize. I'm a bit snuffly today. So if you hear me cough and sneeze and blow my nose, I'm really, really sorry. But I wanted to make sure I shared all these super cool new things with you. So lift your spirits. If you haven't joined us before, welcome. If you are new to Make a Forte or the Hedgehog Hollow, drop us a comment in the side so Bethany and Amanda can welcome you to the channel. And next time I'm live, I will try to give you a shout out as well. Now, the idea of Lift Your Spirits is we do 4 cards with 1 stamp set. Now, this month's stamp set, I'm going to just grab out. And then while I'm talking to you, we also do an exclusive release just for Lift Your Spirits. So you'll get that here as well. And then, secondly, you also get to see some sneak peeks of what will be coming up at the end of the month. So this is the stamp set we are using this month. It's called Love from Alex Siberia. It was available up until midnight tonight. You'll be able to get it for $18.99 rather than the usual $23.99 because it's a big 6x8 stamp set. Towards the end of life, I'll be sharing with you what next month's Lift Your Spirits stamp set is. And tonight I'm going to show you how to make some really cool cards. This is a new technique I kind of made up. I haven't seen it done before, but I great fun playing with it. So I'm going to show you how I created this. Look, it's got glitter in it and it's like a tie-dye. It's really fun. I'm going to show you how to layer techniques together. I'm not sure if you can see, but up here there's like some hearts and stuff in here too. So there's actually a couple of different techniques layered together to create this card. This technique I love, 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 love. So I'm going to share with you how to make this one. And then these ones are just a little bit, kind of your more basic techniques. And they use all of the elements in the stamp set. And they also use almost all of our new stencils. The only one I didn't use was our new checkerboard. So let me share with you our new stencils. So this is the one for tonight. It's called Herringbone. And you can see here, here's your herringbone. So that's what it creates on there. And then you've got X's and O's. So that's the card I made with X's and O's. Then you have our heart matrix. So the idea of this is it's going to be really fun because you get 2 stencils. You get this one and you get this hearts one. And then in future, you'll be able to add other add-ons that allow you to create something else in your matrix. So they won't just be hearts. And then I added rosé gems on here. This one uses our new vintage vines. So here's vintage vines. You can see how it looks when it's done. And then this one is using just the stamps. This is the checkerboard that I shared with you. So you can do all sorts of things. I think it's called chessboard. Maybe it's not checkerboard. Maybe it's chessboard. Not sure. But you'll see it in there. And then this is black hole. Now, I haven't made my card yet, but I thought we can make it together. At the end, we'll use some of the elements as our 4th card. So let's dive in. I want to do the messy one first because it takes a bit of time to dry. It might dry by the end of the video. I'm not sure. But we're going to try it out. So we're going to take a piece of white cardstock and some masking tape and stick this on. And choose any part of the pattern. And you can do this with any stencil. I just think it really highlights this particular stencil beautifully. You're also going to want a couple of re-inkers. So I used Tiptree Jam and Coronation Purple. This is something new I just found. And I found them on Amazon. You can see mine's here. And they fit your, I have to move everything along now, re-inkers perfectly. Of course, I'm just going to move these to here. And then move these all the way along. And then we want our Yellowstone. So you can store all your re-inkers in here. And they look awesome. And I'm just going to stick these 3 in here and I'll sort them out later. So I'm going to choose some neons. I'm going to go California Love, Acid Wash, and Lime Wired. I'm going to go really bold and see what happens. I mean, These are my more regal ones. We're going to see what happens when we go bold. I need some iridescent glitz gel. You could also use white glitz gel if you have that. The iridescent just behaved really nicely, so I'm going to stick with it. And it's funny because I started this card and I was really concerned I was going to ruin it. I know my stencil pal's gone because the stencil pal is a great little tool for this. As you all know, I'm kind of in that transition state. I'm really hoping by next month we'll be there, but who knows? Who knows? So many things going on. Right, so I'm just spreading out my glitz gel. And the funny thing is, I was saying, when I did this card and I was designing these cards, I got this far and I loved it. And then I was like, oh, I'm really worried about ruining it. Now, for those of you in Muncie's class, you'll know when I said to myself, hey, it's only paper. If it goes wrong, I just put it on a gown. But it looks so pretty and delicate with just this white glitz gel on it. Like, it's a really pretty kind of technique. And you can see I'm using quite a thin coat. I'm going to put my lid back on. Have a quick snuffle. So, excuse me. Oh, it's just an old-fashioned cold. It's nothing major, but it's just not pleasant. So then I took my re-inkers, and I actually want to put my ink on my stencil. So you only want like tiny dots, and don't put it on the glitz. Put it on your re-inker, on your stencil rather. You put your re-inker on your stencil. And it doesn't look like I've really put much ink on here. Just for fun, I'm going to introduce a dot of green in this corner. But that's the only place I'm going to add that. Now I'm going to take my spatula. And if you have the Thermoweb stencil pal, it works really great with this too, because it spreads it in a different way. I was playing around with it earlier, but I haven't tried this color combo yet. So that's why I was kind of excited to play around. And then just kind of scrape around, just gently. Honestly, it really doesn't need much. I'm going to add a little bit more blue in here. I just think it feels like it needs a little pop of blue. But you can just play, and you can add more or less, or like, you know, multiple colors. Just do something I would suggest that mixes together nicely. I like this splash of blue I've got here. Now the funny thing is, when I was doing the other one, when I did this one, I hated how it looked right now. I actually love how this one looks. I hated it. And I picked it up and I removed my stencil, and that's when I had that wow. But look how beautiful that is. I mean, I think that that is just gorgeous to get that effect on there. I love it so, so much. And we'll be exploring this a little bit more at camp. So I'm just going to take this, and you can see where I'm going. I keep a little tray of water mixed with Squid Buster behind my work surface. And the reason I do with that is I used to keep it on my work surface, but I once then knocked it off not that long ago. And ever since I swore off and I put it behind me. So that's where it now lives. And it's easy enough to get up. I'm going to give it a spritz with some Squid Buster and clean up my work mat for us to do our next technique. And I want to make sure it's clean because I'm going to do something else that's a little bit messy, but also just as fun. Okay, so there is that. We're going to leave this to dry. So you can see I left this. I mounted it up with some black. I put a stripe of black across the center here, and then just put the U matter. I stamped those two out, matted it on black, and put them on there. So again, I just love how this looks. It's so pretty. Look how cool that is. Okay. So I'm going to move that one to the side, make sure I don't make a mess out of it. Next up, I want to show you how to make this one. And the stencils that are available this month are all available in a bundle. So you can grab those, and it includes next month's Lift Your Spirit stamp set, which I can't wait. Let me share it with you. It's so pretty. It's called Flirty Flamingos. So you've got You Look Absolutely Beautiful, Gorgeous, You Are, Love You, You Color My World, and Hello. And look how beautiful these two are here. Carrie did this one I've got one on the way in the mail from Emily, who's one of our designers. She's in Sweden, so things take a bit longer to get here. But it is very lovely ways to use this in your crafting next month. So that will be our next month Lift Your Spirit stamp set. In the meantime, let me share this with you. So you can get that stamp set for $18.99, or you can get it in the bundle with all the other stencils that we're releasing tonight for an amazing price. And the girls will put that in the comments to the side for you. So for this one, I like using an acrylic block for this technique. You can use your Misty if you prefer. I just find it's much quicker to do it with the acrylic block. Again, you're going to want re-inkers, and I'm going to start with the one that I kind of chopped off at the bottom because I love how it came out. It was Raraska, Purple Rain, and Acid Wash, which I think I have out here. I'm also going to grab these out because I'm going to use them all. So let's pop this onto here. You're also going to want a brayer. Now, I did get my brayer and put it on my desk. Here we go. I'm using the Tim Holtz brayer. You can use any brayer you like. My piece of cardstock. And this is really, really simple. It looks so effective. You also want a Mr. Perfect with some water inside of it. And I'm going to share with you how to do this. So let's start. I'm going to do the reverse of what I did in the other one because I just love how this color came out. And then I had to chop it off, which wasn't so fun. So a couple of dots. And this is a great way to use up those re-inkers. I know, of course, we sell the re-inkers because they're designed to re-ink your stamp sets. And there's tons of things you can do with them. And I'm just going to put, again, one dot of the purple because this makes purple as a combination. So I don't want to overdo the purple. Otherwise, I'm going to end up with a lot of purple. So I'm going to just brayer over my surface. Keep your brayer to the side. Where's my Mr. Perfect? I'm going to spritz this. So 3 spritzes with my Mr. Perfect. And then I'm going to put this down. And I don't know what I'm going to get. But isn't that gorgeous? Then I'm going to take my brayer again, because there's still a lot of ink on my brayer, and do the same thing. And I'm kind of rolling and bouncing. I don't know if that's the right technique. It's what I was taught a long time ago. Spritz again. And line it up roughly. And you can see you get that love. But it looks really, really cool. And it's kind of that like watercolor washy. Like it's a really fun way to do it. Then we're going to clean off our stamp. Make sure I get in those nooks and crannies. You can use your Squid Buddy to really get in there and clean it. You don't have to be perfectly clean. It just depends what colors you want to use next. So just think about that as to how clean you need to make it. And then for my brayer, I thought I bought a piece up with me. Maybe I didn't. I usually, here, I did. Either brayer it off onto a tag, and then I keep that for something in future, or I use a piece of our new mixed media tissue that's coming out. And these were in your Let Loose kits. And we're going to sell packages because we found a really, really nice one. It's not too thick, it's not too thin, but it creates like this really cool collage paper. And you can pick up all sorts of inks and paints off your surface and create all these fun things. So now I'm going to go in, I'm going to do the blue, the green, and the yellow because that's fun too. So blue, green, yellow. I'm going to put a couple of drops of blue on this side. Yellow. Maybe even a bit of extra yellow. I love how the yellow looks. And then the green. I want to make sure this is pretty clean. Again, just go in. And the nice thing is these brayers have little feet, so if you put them this way up, they don't touch your surface. And we have them in the store. And then I'm going to stamp this one down. Like that. And so you see I lined, I'll show you in a second how I lined the different sides up. So on this side, I lined my love up in this corner, and then on this side, I lined it up in this corner. And then we'll do the same here. And I just love how it comes out. And the great thing is, of course, you can get 2 from 1. If you want to, you can stamp out and keep some of that texture on your mat, on your mixed media tissue even. Excuse me, snuffly. And then I'm going to do the same. They're such pretty colors too. And then I'm just going to wipe this off. Just make sure I get rid of all that excess, because I don't want the merge. It's just not so fun. And then you can see there's your panel. On here, I did it and I added like a little bit extra on the bottom. This is the pink, the blue, and the purple. But it's just a really fun way to do it. And then I just stamped you on a piece and used some foam to pop it up. Super easy card, but you can do that with any color scheme at all. And I just, again, isn't that so fun and so easy? So it'll take a little bit of time to dry. So I'm going to leave that over there. And then let's try out this Vortex one, because I really wanted to try it. And then we'll add a cute sentiment from this stamp set on it. So let's do, we need our clear ink, which I had in my hand a second ago. So I take my clear ink and I just taped it onto a piece of Eclipse black cardstock. And you can also put this on a dauber and just do areas. But because I just want to do all over coverage, it's easier to just do the pad directly onto the stencil. Just making sure I try not to miss anywhere as best as I can. It's kind of hard to see until you take it off. And then, of course, you realize you missed something. Let's see how we did. Oh, it's pretty good. So it's also really fun because you could just do that and leave it. Wouldn't that be fun at Halloween and stuff too? But I love this effect. I'm going to put that up there. And then I'm going to take my, what should we do? Let's do some Alien. I just love Alien. It's such a pretty color. I'm also going to share with you tonight the new ink colors for our subscribers. And I'm going to share with you what our new silhouette is. And the silhouette is limited to only subscribers right now. And I'm going to explain why in a second. So you want to make sure you go and get those early access subscriptions in. Let's put this on here first. It's so pretty. All of that sparkle. It's just gorgeous. So pretty. Okay. I'm going to take my rainbow brush. This is my kaleidoscope only one, not the one I use for my foil, and brush off my excess. And then just to the side, because I've got powder and stuff over here, I'll wipe up for a second. Top tip, if you are using the colored kaleidoscope powders and you don't want to see that color forever and ever and ever, same if you're using like the Color Bursts or the Brush Shows or Ken Oliver's Color Blasts or any of that stuff, use alcohol to clear them up because they don't react with alcohol. So just an FYI there, it'll make your life a lot easier. And then I'm going to take a spritz of hairspray to seal it. You can use a spray fixative if you want to. Hairspray is just so quick and easy, and obviously it's pretty safe because, you know, we spray it on our hair and our skin. But look how beautiful. Look at that, the way it catches that light. Just so pretty. So I have a card to mount it up on in a second. Let the hairspray dry. While that's drying, let me show you this month's silhouette. Super fun. It's called The Haunted House. As you can see the stencil on top there. And here is all of our monsters going up to the haunted house. It's the first time we've done a seasonal one, but I absolutely love this because you could mask these out. Your witch you could mask out and stamp somewhere else. It could just be a cool house. You could do it as a new home, you know, welcome to the crib or, you know, something fun. So you don't have to just do it like this and make it haunted. You could do it, you could mask these out and you could put something Christmassy in here. So yes, it is called the haunted house, but you can use it tons and tons of different ways. I can't wait to see what the design team do with it. But if you are on the subscription, you are going to get this haunted house. And I only have a limited edition of them in this format because we will be moving the silhouettes to red rubber just because you get a much better, the one thing we can do with rubber is solid areas stamp out so much better than photopolymer. Of course, you all know we invented prime time to try and help this, but we did a test and we tried it out. And personally, I found that doing it with the red rubber gave a way, way better impression than doing it with the photopolymer, just because of the nature of the materials. It's materials engineering. It's nothing to do with the stamps or anything like that. But so much better, just in my opinion. And then we may do the option to give you photopolymer or rubber in future. I don't think we've quite decided. I guess you guys can tell us what you think in the comments to the side. Hopefully I've also managed to hop on. So hi, if I'm here live. But just to let you know, so that's going to be that going forward. So if you're on the subscription, the majority of you, unless we contact you otherwise, will be getting the photopolymer. If you specifically want the red rubber, email Bethany and let her know, and we'll try our best. Going forward, you will be in red rubber, and it's really, really pretty, the ones we've got coming up over the next couple of months. I think you'll all love them. So you can try that out and let us know what you think. We're always trying to improve and make everything better, so that's a step in that direction. So this one is now done. Here, whoops, tore that. Luckily it's on the back, so it doesn't matter. And then I'm going to use some of my Deco Art pen here. Just a dot here and there. I'm going to pop this on here. And then onto here. And then you can add a sentiment. Maybe you want to do kindness matters. You could do the love, love, love. You know, however you want to do it. You can then add your sentiment on. Probably would put the sentiment in the center of that vortex because I just think that would be fun in the center of the black hole. I'm going to fold this over. Holder. Crisp that up. Isn't that super cool and really pretty? I love how that looks. Great birthday card and things too. So there is another way. And then I would recommend doing, I'll show you that one in a second, doing a sentiment, something like this kindness matters, cut it out, put it on, or, you know, thank you, like this is pretty, cut it out, stick it on. Or you can just do like I did on, what did it is here, you matter. You can put that on here. Or you could just do happy birthday or something too. So, excuse me, how to use that stamp set in lots of different ways. So same, you can also layer these up. And I want to show you just a couple of quick ways. I'm not going to do all the stamping. I'm just going to do the stenciling to share with you how to do that. So let me grab a piece of cardstock. I'm going to show you this one. And I want to show you this one because both of them, I use different techniques. So I'm going to start off with this one. And oh, I still have the ink colors to show you too. I just saw them in my cart next to me. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to take a brush, and I use Rah skirt. And yeah. Here's my Rah skirt. You can see I didn't clean my stencil in between. And I kind of went fairly pale. I didn't go too intense because I wanted it to be a more subtle kind of card. Look how easy that was. Like seconds. Honestly, seconds. That's the really cool part of this. And then I'm going to take the other half of that stencil. Let me put this one back in here for now. So we stay together. And then say, I'm sorry about the snuffles, but there's not really anything I can do. Then we're going to center this up. Now, if you use your stencil alignment tool, you, of course, won't be moving it around like I am. So I strongly suggest using that. It's going to dab off to the side. and then bring this in again, really light. Pick up some of that ink that's over there. I'm going for the, really kind of pastel-y look on these ones, just because I really like how that comes across. And then the other thing you need, I'm going to peel off our stencil. Look how cute that looks. Isn't that cute? Actually, this is a teamwork stencil. Bethany came to me with the idea, and then I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cute if we separated? Because originally she designed it and it had both pieces together. And then I said, wouldn't it be cute if we took them apart and then we can do add-ons so you can get more from one stencil? I'm sorry if that burst anyone's eardrums. I just can't stop today. So then on mine, you can see I added the gems as like a little fun thing. This is the rosé gems. They were the perfect color. But the way I did the highlights was I took my stamps. Where did my stamp set go? Now you can choose how light you want this next stage to be. So on this one here, you might not even really be able to see it, but behind this thank you is a heart, and I did it super, super light. I'm going to do it darker on this one so you can see the difference as to whether you want dark or light. You can then, think about what works for you. So I just took this, placed down this, and then I took the thank you. Put this to the side because I'm going to need this again in a second. Let's clean it off because I got my cloth right here. And I'm going to use some Remarkable Black. This one needs a great ink. I have like 3 up here. And you can imagine they get very well loved. And then I can stamp my thank you. I really like these blocks. This comes in the Wendy Vecchi kit that we sell that goes with her Make Art Station. You get this really little thin one. This is probably one of the only actual stamp blocks I use now. I really like this thinner one. It's not as heavy, so I find it's easier to position because it's not as clunky. I actually really like the thinner, which I didn't think I would. I thought I'd like the thicker ones with the finger grips, but I actually find this one gives me more precision. Just my personal thing. And I love the little corner piece because you can use it to mount up your stencils and things. So this is what I go to now. This is my favorite. So that's why we have this one in the store. So that's kind of how you can do this, and then you can finish it off however you want, but you can decide whether you want an intense heart behind or whether you just like the really kind of subtle look of the heart behind. So they're your kind of options on there. And then, whoops, this is paint tape, so you can cause ripping my paper. Let me share with you the 3 inks. If you are on early access, you're going to get 3 amazing colors of inks, and possibly the re-inkers if you're signed up for those 2. We have English Mustard, Grand Canyon, and Red Leicester. So let me show you what they look like swatched out. And this is such a beautiful fall combination. It gives you a clue that our theme this month is falling into fall. So this is English Mustard. You've got that beautiful, rich yellow color. I would actually say it's more rich in person than what I'm seeing on my computer screen. You have Red Leicester, which is that amazing orange, like such a pretty orange. And then Grand Canyon, you're sure you can imagine what this is going to come out like. It's going to be more of that kind of browny orange. So such a beautiful full combination in there. If you're on early access, these will start shipping out next week. And your simple sayings are autumn themed, music themed, and Bethany Amanda. Someone's going to have to help me in the comments as to what the 3rd one is. I just can't remember. I'm sorry. But I do want to share just one more quick technique with you. So this is how I created that card I showed you, the Love You. So this is just stamped with Remarkable on white, and so is this. And then I cut them out. I matted this on a little bit of Tiptree Jam to tie it all together because I use Tiptree Jam ink. So it just pulls everything together nicely. The Eclipse Black. So you've got all the same colors running through. But I want to show you how I made my own background paper because I layered the stamps and the stencils together for something fun. And there's a little bit of subtlety. Sometimes I think you can just see it, like up here. You can see there's a heart in here. There's a little bit of a subtle extra pattern, which is really fun. And also, like, don't forget, you can blend stencils on colored cardstocks too. You don't just have to blend your stencils on white, which is something that I do a lot of. And I always forget that, you know, we have all these other pretty colors. And so I forget to do that. So here's some Tiptree jam. And I'm going to start off over here. You can see it's super bright. And then you can build it up. Remember, you can always add more. It's a lot harder to take away. So I always like to start off light. And if I want to add more, I'll add more. But super pretty. Then you can cut it down or do that afterwards. Again, I'm going to put this to the side. And put this over here. This in its bag. Like, I'm trying to stay a little bit organized. I know it's not my, like, you know, forte to be organized. I'm trying. And I'm going to put this one back in its bag. And then what I did was, I'm going to give this a quick clean up because we don't want pink for days and days and days. And I'm the worst at smudging stuff, so I want to make sure I'm not doing that. A clean piece of kitchen towel, not the one I blew my nose on, don't worry. Okay. And then I took my heart and my clear ink. And I kind of worked at an angle. So I started down here and that will not come out. I freehanded this. So you want to give it a nice lot of pressure. And then what it's going to do is create this really pretty heart background. And it's only a slight shade, so it's really hard for me to show you on camera how this looks. If you have a different, I'll pick a different color cardstock and show you in a second. It's really delicate, but it is oh so pretty. And you can do this with a stencil, you can do this with a stamp, you could do it to make it look like a dropped shadow, but it creates this really, really pretty, you kind of see I do it like at random, this really like extra detail in your stamp backgrounds. Now, I appreciate it might be harder for you to see. If you use like the new cappuccino paper, you'll see it a lot more. On the orange, I'd expect you'll see it quite a lot. The dark, like the mid-colored cardstock, show it the most. You can kind of see it a bit more on there. There you go, you can see the different color. The cappuccino shows up really, really nicely too, so try it on that. But it's a really great way to stretch your stamps and your stencils and things like that to create something that's just a little bit more. It gives you that little bit more oomph in there as well. So it's really, really fun. So let's just recap what we learned tonight. So some really, really fun techniques in here. Lots of new things. So first of all, I showed you how to do this super cool tie-dye with glitz gel. So I remember that was the iridescent glitz gel and my re-inkers. And this is the one I created tonight. And this is the one I made. So this was Tiptree Jam and Coronation Purple. This one was Lime Wired, Acid Wash, and California Love. But again, so pretty, so different. And then I showed you how to create your own really cool watercolor techniques using your brayer. And we'll be doing more of this at camp because this week's focus is inks. It's kind of a spoiler of some things we'll be working on with your inks. And then we did, adding some stamp details and things like that in here. Remember, you can do the same with the herringbone. So a really pretty way to use that. We played around with Vortex or Black Hole. Maybe I should call it Vortex. It's called Black Hole. So you've got that in there. Again, just a great way and add a fun sentiment in here. Off you go. And then we did the watermarks and then colored ink on our colored cardstock. So lots of different ways, whatever your level of crafting, definitely something you can go home and try in your craft room. This was white glitz gel using that new checkerboard, and it's Greg's birthday on the 18th, so I think this could be a birthday card. I used some little strips of colored cardstock underneath Orange Squeeze and Cloudy Skies, I think. Clear Skies, Clear Skies. And they're the golf racing colors. So that kind of works out. And then I used a piece of our foilable ephemera on top with our Moonlit Lake. So Greg's birthday card's done. And of course, don't forget, you've got next month's Lift Your Spirit stamp set, this beautiful flirty flamingos. I mean, just beautiful. Such a good job, Carrie. Amazing, amazing job there. And we gave you your sneaky peeks for your Red Leicester, your English Mustard, and your Grand Canyon inks if you are on pre-sale. And of course, the Haunted House as well. So lots of sneak peeks, lots of new things to share with you. Thank you for joining me for Lift Your Spirits. Amanda is in the comments and Bethany too. So if you need anything, drop in with them. They'll put links to the bundles as I'm going through as well. And hopefully I managed to join you for a little bit live as well. As I say, I'm in New York City right now and working on some cool things. And I can't wait to come back and share it all with you. I'm sure I'm going to have lots of ideas. There's lots of calls going to come to Bethany saying, I've got an idea. Which she just loves those phone calls. They're her favorite, I'm sure. So super excited to share all those things with you. And thank you for joining me. Thank you for spending a little bit of your Monday evening with me. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments side below. And thank you for coming to Lift Your Spirits. Don't forget to grab your link for next month where we're going to do the Flirty Flamingos. And maybe I'll see you at camp tomorrow, Let Loose tomorrow, or camp on Thursday. So have a great rest of your Monday. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you very, very soon. Bye.